We need to speak, Archon. I've been scouring the archives for any information regarding Templar magic since last we spoke, and the results have been rather troubling, to say the least. As you may or may not be aware, ancient Alaga is portrayed in the Enchiridion as a cautionary tale, a great empire brought low by its vanity and hubris. However, there are certain apocryphal texts in which the Elegans are cast in a more sympathetic light, if not outright exalted. 'Twas in these texts that I found references to temporal magics once wielded by Elegan mages. Said magics could be used to halt or even reverse the temporal state of a given object. These accounts stood believed, and if Gigi's abilities in these magics are one and the same, then it may well be possible for him to turn back the hands of time for the Grand Sirs, much as he restored the Duke's priceless face. That being said, there is no telling how this will work with regards to a living being. Consider, if you will, that the vase was filled with water when shattered, even if the vessel were restored. What would become of its former contents? Would it be filled with water as before, the very same, every drop returned, or would it be different water? Would the water, once spilt, be forever lost? Speak of the soul, my friend, for even if one could use these magics to restore the dead to life, would they be as they were before, with all the same thoughts and memories and feelings? Grand Sirs are convinced that they can regain their lost youth, and mayhap they can. But the dead who have entered into Holonese halls cannot return. They cannot. Yet Gigi is nevertheless resolved to try and resurrect Archmagus Quan. Speaking of which, according to some Charlian texts in the archives, Archmagus Quan was an accomplished scholar known for his study of ancient Elegan magics, further evidence that Gigi's abilities are likely derived from ancient traditions, I suppose. But more importantly, I learned the location of the Archmagus' former residence. Mayhap we could find something of interest there, something which could help us to persuade Gigi to change his course. I had in mind to summon Inspector Hildibrand and make the journey there together. Would you be willing to join us? Excellent. Then let us be about our business. I saw you, heretic! Beg your pardon, are you accusing me of being a heretic? Yes, you, Inquisitor, sir. I saw you sneak into the archives and seek out the forbidden tomes. Saw the mad light in your eyes as you partook of their forbidden knowledge. For the love of... I did all of that for my investigation. Aha! You admit your crimes. Then you did secretly, without permission, in blatant contravention of our rules, read forbidden tomes. Then by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine. Stupid, ignorant. Also desperate to keep your goddamn jobs that go around accusing all the world and his wife of heresy? Is that what we've been reduced to? That was literally you at the beginning. Sick and tired of looking for heretics in every bloody shadow, of trying to guess the secret sins of everyone I meet. It's stupid and pointless, and we're better than that, damn it! We're better than that! If you would surrender yourself, then I have no choice but to inform my superiors. Well, that all came tumbling out, didn't it? I suppose there's no point in trying to convince myself that I have no personal involvement in this matter, but that I still have a professional one. Somewhere along the way, I stopped looking for the guilty and started looking for the truth, perhaps, in a way to help those in need. Oh no, how terrible. There's no place for people like that in the Inquisition, is there? And it's only a matter of time before that stuttering fool comes back with an armed guard. Let us depart for Idleshire at once. We need to find the inspector. Idleshire. I don't know why I'm suddenly pronouncing it that way. Uh-oh. I see the name of the next quest. Right now we're the Proud and the Pointy-eyed. That's a weird name. Okay. It would seem we arrived too late. Inspector Hildibrand has already gone off on his own to confront the Grand Sirs. They came back briefly to trade jingly shine for supplies and whatnot, you see, and the Gubbies ear caught them trading tongue flaps about killing dragons in the Forelands. When the inspector learned about it later, he said he had to go after them right away and backtake Takiki. He said he had a duty, not as an inspector, but as a father. Bugger that. He's got no obligations to a bloody mammoth, especially one that chose to leave of its own free will, as I recall. I swear I turned my back on the boy for one pleading second to lose his goddamn mind. I'm afraid he might try to do something reckless. Don't you think we should try to find him and offer hand-lending? I'm rather more concerned about what would happen if the Grand Sirs attack, or worse, kill any of Hraesvelgr's brood. But first things first, I suppose. Archon, would you be so kind as to assist Mistresses Noshu and Julian in their search for the Inspector? I will pay a visit to Archmagus Quan's abandoned abode in the meantime. Oh, and before you think to refuse, know that you need not fear for my safety. Let us just say that our singular experiences together have inured me to the harsh realities of, well, reality. Huh. Could it be the scrawny little shite's finally found his spine? Let's start by heading to Tailfeather. I reckon the inspector probably went there first to ask after the Grand Sirs, so if we do the same, we're sure to catch up on him eventually. Do 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 do. Idleshire music went away. Right then, I say we split up and make inquiries separately. If you learn anything about the Inspector or the Grand Sirs or Gigi, come and tell me. Not in here? Okay. I would like to go out the door, please. Thank you. This Guardians with the Mammoth. They're here, I proclaimed all and sundry that they were going to slay the greatest dragon of them all. The gods only know if the naive fools were serious. Daft sods. They were for an extra. Not quite sure what their intentions were, but they were awfully confident. That much I recall. And there's our last target. Three Dragon Slayers of a Mammoth, eh? Called you a mummer if I hadn't seen them come through earlier. Boasting about how they're off to kill the biggest one yet. You over here now? Oh, I see. So the Grand Sirs were headed for Annex Shrine. My dear boy wasn't far behind them either. What are we waiting for? Let's go, let's go. To Annex Shrine. make it over that wall. Okay. Oh, they're not in the walls. Okay. Our unfortunate soul who bears a striking resemblance to Orland is quite firmly embedded in the earth. Look at that. The inspector sure gave him what for. That may be, but where'd the other two get to? Not to mention the mammoth. Why don't we pull him out and ask? Though, having said it, looks easier said than done. Oh, silly of me. I'm sure you've more than enough strength to yank him free, right, Archon? Well, I'll be wearing some sort of magic mask that makes him look just like the inspector. Just like that man of 1,000 faces back in Old Dahl. No, that's Hildibrand, all right. There's no fool in a mother's eyes. I say, what troubles my beloved son got himself into this time? Hello there, Lord Godbert and Inspector's here. How'd you two end up traveling together? Blind fortune, you might say. I was too far from Tailfeather when night began to fall, but fortunately Lord Godbert chanced to find me wandering in the wilderness. Lord Edmund here told me all about his recent trouble with the Grand Sirs, as well as Hildy's investigation. And a father cannot help but take an interest in his son's affairs, can he? As for me, I was eager to share with you my latest findings, namely Archmagus Quan's research notes. I haven't slept like that since I was buried in the Lich Yard. Well, well, I must confess no small measure of embarrassment to be found in such a state, having been so unceremoniously disposed of by the Grand Sirs. But ignominy notwithstanding, I am most grateful for your succor, and pleasantly surprised to be reunited with you all. This wouldn't have happened had you been waiting for us instead of... Wait, why in the hell are you still wearing that rubbish? An impenetrable disguise is an essential when consorting with the criminal elements. Alas, 'twould seem the Grand Sirs have grown more perceptive in their newfound youth. Wait. You mean they've already gained their youth? What about Gigi? Did you see him? Was he behaving strangely? Now that you mention it, his warm, soulful eyes were rather more pointy than I remember. Fury, not pointy. According to Archmagus Quan's notes, that's a sign Gigi used too much magic. If he carries on like this, his other will be expended. He'll end up not more than an empty husk. This is terrible news. Must catch up to the Grand Sirs at once. Do you know where they were headed? All I heard was they were keen to slay dragons. They were headed for the Churning Mists, a place called Zenith, to kill a great worm named Nidhogg. He's already dead. Really? That all happened? I meant the other one, Heavensward. Heavensward, if you're take me, what could they possibly hope to achieve? Try not to sing. If I could turn back time. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby ask you all to aid me in rescuing my son and putting a stop to the Grand Sir's machinations. You know, there's really no need for that. We came here because we wanted to help. I, Nashu, faithful assistant, maker of explosives extraordinaire, do hereby present to you this fresh change of clothing. Capital! I knew I could count on you, Nashu. I shall change en route. Come, my friends, to Zenith and to Gigi. Yep, sure, meet you there. Oh, they're literally right here. Okay. Make ready, my friends. The final battle with the Grand Sirs is at hand. Twould seem my wounds more serious than I thought. I fear I am in no condition to confront my foes. There's one thing that could restore to me my former indomitable self. Don't you worry. I've got some salamander oil right here. Shall Mommy give her baby boy a massage? Oh, my dearest Mummy, Mother dearest, I would not impose upon you. Not one of my ever-loyal associate Archon stands ready to minister to my muscles. Don't tell me you're embarrassed. Let Mummy take care of little Hildy's hurts. My dear wife, I know you mean well, but let Archon handle it. I can personally testify to the healing talents of his strong yet tender fingers. That's the way of it. I'm counting on you, Archon. Why? Let us brook no further delay. Come, my friend, coat my body in oil as you have done many a time before. Do I have to? Oh, how it soothes my aches and pains. Quickly now, knead it into my flesh. Knead it as you have never kneaded before. Ah, the really... Gah, such furious kneading. I applaud your enthusiasm, but mayhap I urged you to excessive force. Haha, nay, you were in the right. Already the gentle warmth begins to spread throughout my body. The fires of righteousness burn anew in my breast. Hold, my son. Though your passion is renewed, you may yet be spurred to greater feats of Mandervillian strength, derived from the purest essence of salamanders, the ancient legacy of House Manderville, Salamanderville. You, my beloved son, now become a proud father, I bequeath this most sacred of oils. Salamanderville! Could it be that the legends were true? Muscle shall shine with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. No mortal man will have the power to do you harm. Verily it is so, for by its grace did I once weather the slings and arrows of a bandit horde and bring home my hammer of justice to bear upon their wicked heads. Time has come, Archon. Take this oil and help Hildy become the Manderville man he was meant to be. Once again, do I have to? Oh, Salamanderville, how it flows into every nook and cranny. Quickly now, lay your hands upon me. Massage me with all your might. Yes, yes. That's the spirit. I can feel it building and rising, rising. What's rising, Hildy? Ugh, such passion, such fervor. I am the inferno unbound, the tempest unleashed, but I have not yet begun to pose. Ugh, I am a Manderville man! Ha! The Salamandervillies. My word, I've never felt so alive. Such vibrant colors, such intense sounds, such fragrant smells. Mother, Father, Archon, 'twas your oils and your strong yet tender fingers which opened my eyes to the glory of creation. I am a gentleman inspector reborn. Onward, to Zenith! No matter the laws of nature they pervert or the limits they break, the Grand Sirs can do naught to stop me. Uh-oh. We're walking in a line. Oh, Nashu fell back. Oh, you've ruined our line. All the intimidation factor is gone now. Uh-oh. They're cloaked in shadow. Grandsires, I have come for my son. Must we do this now? We have a dragon to slay. Yeah, that's not happening. There's no need for any of this. The war is over. But not for long. The worm's death will give rise to a new area of fire and blood, and we, having consumed his eyes, will use our new powers to win untold glory on the battlefield. Our legends will echo in eternity. Doom countless innocents for glory? No, I won't allow it over my dead body. Far be it from me to deny you then. This is the end for you. Ultimate end. You got this, buddy? Uh-oh. You look angry. Have faith, my love. He is our son. Gigi, my beautiful boy, pray do not look on me with such pointy eyes. Let Papa Hildy take you home to our gazebo. Stop calling me that. My name is Vivi. Vivi! I remember everything. My powers, my purpose, my Grandpa Quan. No? I'm young again, but it's not enough. I need more. More. I need the worm's eyes, and then I can finally bring them back. Sorry, Gigi, but you cannot. Grandpa Quan is gone. He's right, Gigi. Perhaps you could restore his corporeal form and breathe life into it, but his soul, what made him your grandpapa, is forever beyond our reach. It's not true. I can restore everything to its ideal form, to the way it should be, even Grandpapa Quan, even you, Papa Hildy. Please, Gigi, you have to stop. If you keep using your power, you'll die. Don't understand. Your clothes are still dirty and tattered. Don't you? This is his ideal form. As they should be, Gigi. For my every waking moment is as the gods intended. Every day I live life to the fullest. Every day I enjoy grand adventures. Found your grandpapa's research notes. What he gave you wasn't the power to make things the way they were. He gave you the power to change the world. Make things the way you believe they should be. That's why your magics have no effect on the Inspector. Because you know in your heart that his battered and bruised form of his is, in its own way, right. My thoughts exactly, Inquisitor Sir. It is for this self-same reason that you were unable to make Grandmaster Quan younger. In your heart, you knew that there was naught that needed to be changed. Your beloved Grandpapa was exactly as he should be. Your every day was to be treasured and worthy of celebration. Then what about the Grand Sirs? Why was I able to make them young again? All you truly knew of them were the stories they told. Wondrous tales of daring do by heroes in the prime of their lives. It's no matter you were able to envision them as such. It's all they ever talked about, when they were young and free and full of fire. First, Archmagus Quan didn't understand the true nature of your abilities. He struggled to deduce why you could not make him younger as he originally intended. Eventually, you realized that your fond memories of him were preventing you from conceiving of him as anything but an elderly creator, and that the only way to achieve his goal would be to take them from you. You're all he had left in the world. No longer a mere mammoth, but a friend. Family. His only family. His grandson. Couldn't bear to lose you. So he renounced his quest for immortality. Still lost my memories in the end. He was afraid of leaving you all alone in the world. Afraid that others would attempt to take advantage of you and your magics. So before he died, he decided to take your memories from you after all. To protect you. But despite his best efforts, something remained. Something stronger and more powerful and more resilient than anything Archmagus Quan ever dared dream. You were never broken, Gigi. You were never abandoned. All he wanted was to set you free. Free? Free to do what? Whatever you like, Gigi. Don't you see? It was his final gift to you. A new life. A new story all your own. This has all been very, very touching, but we're not getting any younger. Well, you aren't at any rate. We have suffered your meddling long enough. I intended to use this trap to kill the worm, but since you're so perfectly positioned... You think you're gonna deal with Manderville by exploding him? I am Vivi, grandson of Archmagus Quan, and Gigi, son of Hildibrand, Helidor, Maximilian something or other. I don't know. They didn't give me enough time to read. Pause it and check it. Well, I'm ready for bed. Good thing. Got my slippers and everything. If you're gonna knock me out, at least I'm ready. Aha! You're old again. Seems reasonable. Gotta get them squats in. It's like it never happened. The last of his strength, he turned back the hands of time. Just for the pillars, but for us all. He meant us all as we once were. As we were meant to be. After all that gallivanting around, I get bugger all. What about my misspent youth? I was not meant to be this bloody old. Such a fine day. Never ever squatted with such perfect form. I may well have reached my physical peak. What rot. Act your age, you deaf sod. You look foolish. You should be grateful. He saw what you had become and gave you a second chance. Was our second chance to relive our glory days. All rather silly, though, wasn't it? Maybe Quan had the right of it. Maybe it's not so bad growing old. Cowed when I was young. Now that I'm old, I'm not afraid to say things like, I love you, Doris. Blind, bloody fool, Gonspart. You're gonna insist on an ad, huh? Say, am I dead again? Quite alive, Inspector. Along with everyone else, thanks to Gigi. The Grand Sirs are also in our custody. Haha, that's my boy. Where's the little tyke anyway? Not particularly functional anymore. Gigi, he embarked on a grand new adventure. He's no longer with us. I see. That's what he wanted then. Then I could not be happier for him. Sure, Archmagus Quan would feel the same way. What do we do now, Inspector? Is it not obvious, Nashu? The wide, wide world beckons us. With the promise of mystery and wonder, we shall resume our never-ending quest for cases perplexing and profound, and perhaps, one day, we shall meet young Gigi again. I hate to admit it, but this whole mess got me thinking that maybe it wasn't so bad if I really did have a grandson. You want that man to be a father. You did right by Gigi, Hildy. Your father and I can see that. We're proud of the man you've become. And I'm proud of you too, Mother, for finally coming to terms with the ephemeral nature of physical beauty and allowing yourself to age gracefully. You're trying to die, aren't you? Is she pulling out the frying pan right now? Yep. Gracefully, was it? Four! I fear we had a failure to communicate! And away he goes. There he goes again. Wait for me, Inspector. Wait! Wherever could he be landing? Hark! What is this curious sight I spy in the far eastern skies? This oh so familiar scent which fills my nostrils. Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, my friends, for wherever the wronged want for succor, I, Hildibrand, shall be there, till we meet again. And we'll see Hildibrand again in Stormblood. I say, you do know that so long as the core remains intact, Little Gee is not actually dead. That's right, so dry your tears, boy. There's no need for all this moping about. He's fallen into a dormant state because he used up all his ether. His core would gradually recharge as it draws upon the ambient ether, and in time he will awaken from his torpor. I shall tend to the child for now. As for these three, I should be glad to take them back to Ishgard in your stead. Most generous offer, my lord, but hardly necessary. After all, 'tis my duty to bring them to justice. Yes, it was my duty. After everything I said to the young Inquisitor, I can't go back to Ishgard. They'll toss me in a jail and throw away the key if they don't kill me outright. So go to Arleshire and live in Hildy's gazebo. Someone ought to look after it while he's away, no? Doesn't sound all that bad, actually. Full glad am I to accept the offer. I suppose there's nothing for it but to wait till he comes back down. It was a most graceful strike, my love. You haven't lost your touch. Oh, he has all their weapons. I was like, what is on your back, dude? Suppose there's nothing for it but to leave the Grandsires to Lord Godvarden for me to see to Inspector Hildibrand's gazebo. I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. If you find yourself in Arleshire, come and find me. There are a few arrangements that I need to make, but I can't imagine it will take that long for me to settle in. Thank you, my friend. Until we meet again. For the last time. This is the last time I intend to ever talk to you. Partially because you don't exist after this, but you know. Looking back on the course I've run, it's hard not to think of the man I was and feel ashamed. Before I took on this case, I had only left the capital a handful of times. The rubbish I believed, the facts I considered unassailable. Fear he'd take me, what a fool I was. If I hadn't met you, and the Inspector, and Gigi, I would have never realized how much I had come to hate my job. Nor would I have discovered how much more satisfying it is to seek out the truth. The whole truth. One might say that getting labeled a heretic and having to flee Ishgard is the best thing that could have happened to me. After all, now I am free to start a new life here in Adalshire as a consulting inspector. You do that, buddy. Ah, but enough of that. There's someone I would like you to meet. Oh my god, it's so tiny! Oh god, made some modifications, as you can see. The smaller side should allow him to absorb Aether more effectively over time. I thought if he were to travel with you and share in your grand adventures that maybe it would hasten his reawakening? Hold on. You're so tiny! Thank you, my friend. I do hope our paths cross again someday. Why only half correct? Just got our closing scene. I believe there is strong indication that meowing as vocally meowing as an adult cat they don't meow to each other. They only meow at humans. Hi, Skittle.